Hello, welcome. This is Nationwide. I'm Ruth Aguele. The plan and strategy to achieve the medium-term expenditure framework and fiscal strategy paper 2025 to 2027 are being discussed at an interactive session with stakeholders expressing confidence of achieving projections. At a session jointly convened by the relevant committees of the Senate and House of Representatives, the Minister of Finance, that of Budget and National Planning, as well as Minister of Petroleum, Gas, alongside other heads of revenue-generating agencies, explained economic performance so far, which they say informed projections for the next 3 years. The Federal Inland Revenue Service and Nigeria Customs Service have, as at mid-November, exceeded their revenue target for 2024. Federal government's projected revenue for 2025 is 34.82 trillion naira, with a deficit of 13.08 trillion naira. Concerns were expressed on borrowing and calls to block leakages, unlock more areas of revenue generation, and ensure accountability. Nigeria's GDP records another growth by 3.46% in real terms in third quarter of 2024, higher than 2.54% in the third quarter of 2023. Data released by the National Bureau of Statistics says the services sector, with a growth rate of 5.19%, was the primary driver, contributing 53.58% to the GDP. In real terms, GDP stood at 20.12 trillion naira, up from 18.29 trillion naira in the second quarter of 2024 and 19.44 trillion naira in the third quarter of 2023. Nominal GDP was 71.13 trillion naira, reflecting 17.26% year-on-year growth. Key contributors to real GDP were crop production, trade, telecommunication, petroleum, and real estate. Similarly, unemployment rate in Nigeria has decreased to 4.3% in second quarter from 5.3% in first quarter in 2024. Latest Nigeria Labour Force Survey report released by the Nigeria Bureau of Statistics indicates that in the second quarter of 2024, the labour force participation rate rose to 79.5% from 77.3% in the first quarter. Wage employment decreased to 14.4% from 16%, while informal employment rose slightly to 93%, with rural areas at 97.5% and urban areas at 90%. We turn to other issues. Nigeria's First Lady, Oluremi Tinubu, says collective action across all sectors of the society is needed to aid reporting and timely prosecution of perpetrators of gender-based violence. This is contained in her statement marking the commencement of the 2024 16 Days of Activism Against Gender-Based Violence. She describes gender-based violence as one of the most widespread human rights violations against women, with harmful practices such as child marriage and female genital mutilation still prevalent. While noting that remarkable progress is being made against GBV, the First Lady, however, notes that many women and girls, especially in rural and undeserved areas, still remain trapped in these cycles of violence and inequality. She says the yearly commemoration must be seen as a call to action for everyone to challenge harmful behaviors. Speaker of the House of Representatives, Tajuddin Abbas, today led a symbolic walk against gender-based violence in commemoration of this year's International Day for the Elimination of Violence Against Women. The walk brought together hundreds of participants, including lawmakers and members of the public, who marched from the National Assembly to the headquarters of the Nigeria Police Force. Speaker Abbas says it demonstrates the resolve of the National Assembly to demand decisive action to safeguard vulnerable populations and ensure accountability for perpetrators of gender-based violence.
That the National Assembly will do everything humanly possible to ensure that all forms of violence against women and girls are drastically reduced, if not completely eliminated, in the very near future. I want to also announce that the National Assembly, particularly the House of Representatives, will play an active role in the next National Action Plan against women violence that will be coming up very soon. We will send our representatives. We will also participate actively in ensuring that robust policies are enacted that will significantly reduce the incidence of violence of all kinds against women, against children, against girls.
The demonstration of solidarity with victims of gender-based violence in the country culminated in the submission of a petition by the House of Representatives to the Inspector General of Police.
We want to get justice. We want to get justice. We want to get justice. The House of Representatives, under the leadership of Right Honorable Tajudeen Abbas and Right Honorable Benjamin Kalu, have united in one voice to say that there is no excuse for violence against our women and our girls.
It is a collective effort that we must all fight. We must all come together and put our actions together to eradicate this unacceptable reality now.
The 2024 state-level coordination meeting on the implementation of the Violence Against Persons Prohibition Act 2015, along with relevant state laws, is taking place in Abuja. The meeting is coordinated by the National Agency for the Prohibition of Trafficking in Persons, which aligns with the 16 Days of Activism Against Gender-Based Violence campaign. Amina Baba Suleiman's reports that the meeting underscores the critical role community engagement plays in the fight against gender-based violence. Stakeholders from various states are sharing their successful initiatives and best practices, with the goal of inspiring collaborative efforts and developing innovative solutions tailored to their unique context.
On successes and challenges in implementing the VAP Act and laws in order to strengthen interstate collaboration and coordination, enhance capacity of states in building and ensuring resource sharing, and develop strategies for addressing emerging trends in violence against persons.
This meeting will be of great importance and also will yield a great result as to the strengthening of existing laws and also encourage other states to imbibe the law against violence-based gender.
The discussion today will be an opportunity for us to engage on the results achieved so far and how we can better our activities towards achieving the vision of the Beijing conference, including those of the SDG 5.1-3, which aims to achieve gender equality and empower all women and girls.
The meeting is expected to focus also on the essential role of data collection and analysis in shaping policy decisions and resource allocation. This year's theme for the campaign is Unite to End Violence Against Women and Girls, highlighting the need for collective action in addressing this pressing issue. In other news, Governor Caleb Mutfwang has appealed to the federal government to take steps in tackling ecological challenges in Plateau State. The governor made the appeal when the House Committee on Ecological Funds visited Jos. Bilkisu Nuhu reports.
Chairman of the House of Representatives Committee on Ecological Funds says they have gone round to see the ecological devastation in some parts of the state, and the sights are shocking and touching. He lamented that over time, ecological funds have been inadequate and are being spent without adhering to due process, and this is what the committee is set to correct, so that affected states can access the funds and use them appropriately.
What we have tried is not to give it a general or uniform allocation, but at least to be selective and realistic so that to achieve a desired objective.
Governor Caleb Mutfwang commended the committee for taking time to go around and see for themselves the devastating effects, which he says recovering a few will cost the state billions of naira. The governor also disclosed that mining started in Plateau State since 1903, and lives and properties have been lost with lots of chemical deposits that are harmful to human consumption.
What you saw is the tip of the iceberg. Plateau is the epicenter of ecological disaster in Nigeria. What it means is that if we actually were to remedy even 1/4 of those sites, we need billions of naira.
He further pledged for assistance from the federal government in this regard for the good of the state. In Jos, Bilkis Nuhu, NTA News.
All right, we're still staying in Jos because we want to join our correspondent Caleb to tell us efforts put in place by the state government to reclaim abandoned mining sites in the state. Caleb, I'm sure you can hear me loud and clear. Why don't you start by telling us how many of this mining, that is talking about the abandoned mining sites, have been identified, and before you go on to tell us the efforts put in place to reclaim them.
Thank you very much. We are in the field now, so I'm not sure, but I guess that's Ruth in the studio. Thank you very much. We are here at one of the sites. I tell you, the number is alarming. There are 4,600 mining ponds abandoned in the state. So you could imagine, the land mass that has been devastated by this activity. They are there scattered all over the state, but majorly in the central and northern senatorial districts of the state. Efforts have been made in the past. Resources have been allotted and allocated for their reclamation. But I tell you, because of the magnitude of the problem on ground, very, very, very minor, changes have been seen. For this one that we are around here, efforts have been made to reclaim this. This is the Yelwa Pond that supplies water to Bukru and its environs. But as you could see, the place is open, so it's subject to so many things. People have died, animals have died, properties have been destroyed. But efforts are on, and it's hoped that this one will go a long way to address it.
Let you go, Caleb. What were the recommendations, the committee, talking about the Committee on Ecological Funds, what did they come up with?
Yes, I think for now they have gone round and they've seen most of the sites. And I'm not sure if there's any tangible, commitment for now, but they have promised to go back to really discuss this and to ensure that enough funds are released to get these things reclaimed. Because the state, just like the governor said, it has gone through a lot of devastation, a lot of challenges when it comes to its land. It has been degraded and so many things. The wealth that has been taken out of this place. But then nothing has been done to ensure that the farmers, ensure that the people really get their place, as it were, for them to have their agricultural activities going on. So the committee, I'm sure, yes, they said they are concerned, they said they are disturbed, and they said something will be done. So that is the expectation. They will now go back and ensure that, yes, the relevant authorities release the funds that are needed to ensure that if not all the 4,600 abandoned ponds are reclaimed, most of them are done so.
Totally I agree with you, Caleb, because there's a lot to be harnessed there, and that is just a gold mine waiting to be tapped. Thank you so much, Caleb. Thank you.
Thank you, Ruth. Thank you.
Our correspondent there, Caleb. We turn to other issues. Professionals from different countries are coming up with recommendations at the first World Conjoined Twins Day 2024 to drive conversations and meet on both health and social needs of patients. Abubakar Akwanga reports that King Salman Humanitarian Aid and Relief Center is setting the pace for the paradigm shift.
It is a fresh start for another round of experts' debate on the future of conjoined twins, and Princess Mai and Anne Manzo, a third-year college students, are separated conjoined twins and brought to the stage as a testimony of a broken barrier. Today, they are physically separated and could stand side by side with a middle party and eat from a different plate, even as they remain siblings of same fortunes. Just like them, many in this hall share the same testimony that calls for global action in the management and prevention of such medical circumstance that comes with heavy financial burden. Gopal Mitra is a global lead on disability and development with UNICEF and shared his thoughts on tackling such health cases, putting King Salman's name on the marble.
For us in UNICEF, it is important that every child, everywhere, have the opportunity to survive and thrive. When we mean thrive, not only survive for sure, yes, but to also lead meaningful lives and realize their full potential.
Nigeria is not left out, as Dr. Yusuf Nadabu, a former lecturer with the Faculty of Medicine, Ahmadu Bello University Zaria, said the country has vast knowledge and experience to key into scientific diversities with results in sight.
Here in Nigeria, we also have highly skilled, specialized pediatric surgeons who had performed wonderful surgeries, like Professor Awal Abubakar of Federal Medical Center, Yola, who had successfully separated 3 conjoined twins.
9 agreements has been signed, and all of them serve the children, whether conjoined twin or children in different areas. One of them, for example, fighting polio in Afghanistan. Second, supporting children in area of health and water and sanitation in Gaza.
Teams of experts at the Saudi Arabia International Conference on Conjoined Twins, now concluding in Riyadh, agreed that conjoined twins can be diagnosed using routine ultrasound as early as 7 to 12 weeks of pregnancy, and suggest care and psychological support when sclerosis, cerebral palsy, or learning disabilities occur at a later stage. In Riyadh, the capital of Saudi Arabia, Abubakar Akwanga, NTA News.
Right, let's head to Lagos now to join Hingino John Adams for our next set of reports.
Ruth, and welcome to Lagos. 2 students from the Ladoke Akintola University of Ogbomoso have emerged winners of 5 million naira at the National Values Campus debate organized by the National Orientation Agency, NOA, for government-owned higher institutions in the Southwest geopolitical zone. The event, which took place at the University of Lagos during the flag off of the Identity Project tagged 747 National Values Charter, is aimed at striking the balance between government promises and citizens' responsibilities in nation building. Amaka O reports.
The keenly contested debate was done with the aim of striking a balance between 7 promises of government and 7 citizens' responsibilities. It had students from Ladoke Akintola University, Ogbomoso, clinch the first position, winning 5 million naira, while students from the University of Ibadan came second, winning 2 million naira.
We are already voluntary ambassadors of the National Orientation Agency.
The social contract project is a brainchild of the National Orientation Agency. It is tagged Join the Train to Campus initiative, which says to inspire change and the call for action among youths in the country.
We're starting with raising citizens' values brigadiers in Nigeria, 100 per zone. Don't forget that this 100 per zone, they are involved in, they are from one community or the other. The change that we are preaching, they will definitely take that message to their community.
There were various sessions on cognitive behavior therapy and bonding activities.
If people are affected by their perception of the things that happen, they can change their perception to get the kind of feeling that they want to have.
We try to talk to them about value system that has broken up, and for them to be able to see things from the kind of perspective that will take this country forward.
Join the Value Train to Change initiative moves away from the Southwest to other higher institutions in other geopolitical zones of the country, with winners at the grand finale expected to win 20 million naira. In Lagos, Amaka O, NTA News.
Turning to agriculture now, farmers are set to lose up to 40% of harvest annually due to inadequate post-harvest handling and lack of proper storage. These losses amount to around 3.5 trillion or roughly $9 billion. Some farmers across the agricultural value chain advocate collaborative support for sustainable innovation in tackling these challenges and food security. Amaka O again reports.
Nigeria is ranked high for food wastage among other African countries, with data from the Agricultural Food Organization showing that approximately 20% of grains, 30% of tubers, and 50% of fruits and vegetables go bad due to insufficient storage and logistics systems. Lagos State, by its topography with lesser arable land when compared to other southwestern states, also has a thriving fisheries and animal husbandry subsector. The state government, on its part, put in place storage facilities for the preservation of grains. Stakeholders also prefer other viable options from other climes in reducing post-harvest losses.
In India, in Sri Lanka, in Vietnam, Thailand, all of those countries are primed to emulate. They come up with very indigenous solutions, right, to their problems. So, for instance, they have these evaporating cooling chambers that are made with charcoal or sometimes, clay that can actually help reduce the temperature of a particular environment.
Value addition is very important. Technology is very important. Storage is very key, and more importantly also infrastructure.
The major stakeholder in the industry of the agricultural value chain need to invest more. What do we need? We need more reserve. We need silo to reserve what we've been planted during the time we have the surplus heavy rain.
Food is one of the essential needs of man. Therefore, tackling problems that exist is essential for sustainability and adequate food security. In Lagos, Amaka O, NTA News.
Those are the reports from Lagos nationwide.
In an effort to tackle insecurity and drug abuse in the Northwest, the Northwest Governors Forum is involving women in peace-building process as critical stakeholders in raising children and shaping the communities to empower them to contribute in resolving conflicts in the region. A report. Women and children often bear the brunt of conflicts as the most vulnerable groups. However, as heads of families and pillars of their communities, they have been identified as critical players in peace-building efforts. This formed the basis for this meeting by Commissioners of Women Affairs from the Northwest states. It is a follow-up to the resolutions of the Northwest Governors Forum meeting in Katsina State, where the leaders emphasized the need to involve women to address the region's challenges.
The effective engagement of women in peace building and conflict prevention is pivotal for resolving the unique challenges facing the Northwest. Together, we can transform our challenges into opportunities.
The challenges we face in this region demands collaborative and inclusive solutions. So we aim to establish actionable steps, a long-term mechanism to promote a safer and more prosperous Northwest Nigeria.
The commissioners believe that empowering women and addressing poverty are key to achieving sustainable peace in the Northwest. As these discussions continues beyond this meeting, the Northwest Governors Forum is expected to implement most of the resolutions agreed by these commissioners that will enhance women's participation in peace-building process in Kaduna.
The Ministry of Housing and Urban Development is working towards providing more housing units to address the growing housing deficit in Nigeria. The Minister of Housing and Urban Development has launched several projects across the country. Awal Haliru reports.
The Renewed Hope Estate, a flagship housing project, provides affordable and modern homes for low-income earners, exemplifying the ministry's commitment to inclusive development. The ministry's urban renewal initiative revitalizes neglected cities, enhances infrastructure, and fosters sustainable development. Public-private partnerships have increased by 90%, while housing delivery has risen by 30% and more than 250,000 jobs created.
As a government, we have a duty to all Nigerians. Our goal is to provide quality housing for all income levels. PPP Renewed Hope Cities targets high and middle income earners who can afford these prices, while the Renewed Hope Estates serve lower income segments. This way, there is something on offer for all categories of Nigerians.
With the 250 Renewed Hope housing units under construction in Katsina State, the Minister Ahmed Musa Dangiwa reaffirmed his vision to provide affordable housing and promote sustainable development.
Our own plans for the ministry under the Renewed Hope program is to ensure that we will reduce the cost of building materials. We also create jobs for our teeming youth. That's why we have the plans to establish building material manufacturing hubs.
With these milestone achievements, the Ahmed Dangiwa's leadership in the ministry is ever ready to making housing a fundamental right. In Katsina, Awal Haliru, NTA News.
And that's our contributions from Kaduna. Ruth Aguele. We take it off from here in our Abuja studio. Thank you for watching.
Thank you, Mohammed. Of course, you know today is the International Day for the Elimination of Violence Against Women. Well, the Federal Ministry of Women Affairs has flagged off activities marking the 2024 edition of 16 Days of Activism to End Gender-Based Violence. Ngozi Technical reports.
The flag-off ceremony commencing the 16 days of activism to end gender-based violence, organized by the Federal Ministry of Women Affairs, aside looking at preventive measures, also focuses on reviewing existing laws to cater for survivors of violence and strengthening its enforcement at the grassroots.
This occasion provides us yet another opportunity to renew those commitments and take deliberate actions to protect the rights, safety, and dignity women, girls, and vulnerable people across Nigeria.
GBV also imposes significant economic loss, estimated at 1.5% of Nigeria's GDP annually, hindering development and progress.
With the orange color beautifying the occasion, speakers laid emphasis on the need to ensure collective responsibility to actualize the Beijing 2030 target of a safe and violence-free world.
The grim reality is this: gender-based violence remains a pervasive issue in all societies. It continues to rob individuals of their dignity, undermine families, and hinder national development.
And make it as accountable and transparent as possible. But we can only go far when we don't have the laws that will help us for implementation.
Lineup of activities for the 16 days include road walk and campaigns, including lighting up the ministry with orange color. In Abuja, Ngozi Technical, NTA News.
Abuja is not just the seat of power, but also the seat of fun and entertainment. Because for the first time in almost a decade, the Abuja International Carnival re-emerged and served the city with its people, and its people with a scintillating experience. Well, Daniel Aderiye captured the sights and sounds of the official flag-off.
Culture, a bond that sticks firmer than glue, so much that if and when properly harnessed, could be a galvanizing tool for national unity.
It is my honor and privilege on behalf of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, to officially declare the 2024 Abuja International Carnival.
And with that, the gates for the Abuja International Carnival were thrown open, and everyone who was someone came in for a fun-filled experience.
We expect happiness, youth empowerment, we expect people to be happy, economic improvement, and a good city of Abuja.
We are here for free testing and counseling and to link people to our health facilities for medication if they test positive.
States are represented at this year's carnival, including the FCT. Other side attractions of the carnival included a bikers parade, the Durbar, and of course, lots and lots of food. In Abuja, Daniel Aderiye, NTA News.
Interesting, right? Well, in an amazing display of color, sound and rhythm, the 2024 National Festival of Arts and Culture, NAFEST, came alive in Abuja, celebrating Nigeria's vibrant cultural diversity under the theme, Connected Culture. Gufansha Jongwai reports.
The National Festival of Arts and Culture is a joyous celebration of Nigeria's diverse cultural traditions. From the energetic drumbeats of the north to the soulful melodies of the south, NAFEST is a symphony of sounds, a vibrant display of colors, and a feast of flavors that connects visitors with the heartbeat of Nigerian culture.
The theme of NAFEST this year is Connected Culture, and it's Connected Culture for a reason. And even sitting in the audience watching the performances, you can see the reason why it's Connected Culture. When you see what I saw today, the strongest asset Nigeria has is the culture. The strongest asset Nigeria has is the people. And if you empower the people and connect the culture, then we can really monetize the future, which is where we're trying to go.
As the festival continues to captivate audiences, its potential to boost Nigeria's economy is becoming increasingly apparent, providing a platform for Nigerian artists and artisans to showcase their talents.
I am reminded of the transformative power of arts and culture in promoting national unity, social cohesion, and economic growth.
The 2024 NAFEST Festival brings about the power of culture to unite, inspire, and transform societies. In Abuja, Gufan Shaji Ugwaini, NTA News.
All right, time to visit another beautiful city in Nigeria. Talking about Benin, Obehi is standing by.
Welcome to Benin. The governor of Edo State, Senator Monday Okpevodo, says under his administration, security agencies will be given the full support of his state government towards ensuring a more secured Edo. He has therefore ordered security agencies to make Edo State inhabitable for criminals. The governor gave this directive while briefing newsmen shortly after meeting with heads of security agencies in the state. Good luck, Enaini reports.
It is the Maiden State Security Council meeting held in November with heads of different security agencies operational in the state in attendance. For the governor, his administration places priority on security and government is doing everything to ensure the state is safe for citizens. He is optimistic that with the new security roadmap, the situation shall be nipped in the bud urging security agencies on effective collaboration.
The issue of courtism in Edo State is not acceptable, and we do not want to lose anybody. We will have no mercy on any criminal. Edo cannot be safe for criminals. We'll pursue them and smoke them out wherever they are.
The security agencies are not only pleased with the renewed hope in fighting insecurity, but promptly indicate their readiness to make Edo more secured.
He has assured us that he's going to give us support and he's going to make sure that Edo State is a place for everyone to live peacefully.
The meeting also discussed other areas of security concerns. In Benin, Goodluck Inaini, NTA News.
Meanwhile, residents of Benin have expressed delight at the steps taken by the Edo State government in restoring orderliness to the city center. This was their expression while reacting to the state governor's directive to that regard. Again, Goodluck Inaini completes the report.
The city center, otherwise known as Ring Road, is situated in the commercial nerve of the state capital, Benin City. The center is among the numerous tourist sites in the state. However, before the September 21 Edo governorship election, the center lost its aesthetics to the activities of traders, hawkers, as well as commercial bus drivers, who now use the Ring Road as their parks. This ugly development prompted the Edo State Traffic Management Agency, acting on the directive of the state government, to carry out public sensitization on the need to restore sanity.
I think the present government is doing something really reasonable.
Discipline should be enforced. Traders, bus drivers, there should be rule and regulation.
So I believe what Ogbebolo has just started now, I welcome it.
Go slow when they're here. You can't pass any other thing.
They litter the whole place. You can't walk freely here. But I just thank God for this new government that came to power now, that they've cleared here.
We made some arrests this morning. Some recalcitrant tuk-tuk drivers. As I speak with you, their vehicle are being impounded in our impound yard. They will definitely face punishment for it.
The managing director of the agency, Stainless Ijagede, said government will sustain the tempo and sued for cooperation.
This is our state. We must work in unison to make Edo State better for all of us. If you go there, we did not use the police, we did not use any force on them. We talked to each other as Edo people.
Promise to cooperate with the state government to uplift the state to greater heights. In Benin, Goodluck Inaini, NTA News.
And that's the update from Benin for now. Nationwide continues in Abuja.
Nigeria, ready to breathe cleaner air and save money? Let's talk about gas. Drive with CNG, the smart, cost-effective choice. Fill up for less and travel for...
Governor Caleb Mutfwang has directed the setting up of a task force that will evaluate all private schools and health facilities in the state. The governor gave the directive in Jos while receiving the report of the technical committee on the St. Academy building collapse. Indiang and Abuja reports.
It will be recalled that a private school in Jos collapsed sometime in July this year, leaving 22 students dead and a host of others injured. As part of plans to forestall future occurrence, the state government set up a technical committee chaired by Professor Slim Matawal. While submitting the report, chairman of the committee says the committee discovered that the school management did not involve the services of any building professional aside lack of access road and maintenance for years.
The owners of Science Academy failed at the end to produce a single drawing of direct relevance on the subject matter, even for construction.
The committee therefore gave some recommendations to include close monitoring of structures, regular building inspection, and the need to encourage whistle blowing. Governor Mutfwang commended the committee for a thorough job, saying there is need for the committee to look at the Rockland Hotel at Lamingo and carry out credibility tests on the structure.
The SGS will immediately take steps to set up a task force that is beyond the Ministry of Secondary Education that will evaluate all private educational and health facilities in the state. So it's beyond the Ministry of Education. It should include housing, it should include works, GMDB. It's all encompassing.
The governor also directed the setting up of a task force that will recover all landed property that are illegally acquired or occupied all over the state. In Jos, Indenyan and Abuja, NTA News.
Plateau State Gender and Equal Opportunities Commission has reiterated commitment to ensuring well-being and protection of women and children's rights in the state. Chairperson of the commission, Olivia Dazem, stated this while speaking on the commission's activities in Jos. The report.
Governor Caleb Mutfwang inaugurated the commission in furtherance of his commitment towards protection and promotion of women's rights in the state. Recounting the commission's journey so far, Chairperson of Gender and Equal Opportunities, Olivia Dazem, says it is disturbed with the nature of inhuman offenses and abuses some persons commit on members of their families or society. She mentioned some cases the commission received and actions taken to address such acts, sexual, gender-based violence, and other human rights offenses.
In the short span of time of this commission and its existence, we have been able to train our staff on their responsibilities and how to perform their duties as it relates to gender issues.
She expressed commitment to continue to support the state government in ensuring rights of women and children are preserved, as well as adherence to the provision of law.
Once people's rights are violated, we should not ask them to keep quiet. We should not ask them to forgive and forget. Some of the violations are beyond human comprehension. I want to call on our people that it is time that we allow our people in the state to access justice through the instrumentalities of the laws that we have available.
The chairperson also appreciates the Ministry for Women Affairs and civil society organization for their partnership and support to the achievements of the commission.
That's all from Jos. It's back to Ruth for the continuation of Nationwide.
Thank you, Bill Kisu. 43 years after the discovery of the first case of HIV in Nigeria, the fight against the scourge is still an unfinished business, but the National Agency for the Control of AIDS is taking further steps in sustaining HIV response and stop mother-to-child transmission. Salwal Khalil Ibrahim reports.
UNAIDS report shows that an estimated 160,000 children aged 0 to 14 are either born or living with HIV/AIDS, with 22,000 new infections and 15,000 AIDS-related deaths each year, with funding identified as a major challenge in preventing mother-to-child transmission.
So a lot is being done to ensure that we can find all the pregnant women, test all of them, link those who are positive, so to treatment, and then report all. So in doing so, I think we'll address to ensuring that no one is left behind.
In commemoration of World AIDS Day, NACA and its partners are reflecting on the journey in breaking neonatal chain of transmission, as well as upgrading response mechanisms, especially among marginalized communities.
This year, we are placing special emphasis on stopping AIDS among our children, as well as raising consciousness on sustainability and ownership of the HIV response.
The target here is towards ending AIDS as a public health threat by 2030. In Abuja, Salwa Khalil Ibrahim, NTA News.
Young innovators from Nigeria's 36 states and the Federal Capital Territory are in Abuja for the second edition of the National Science, Technology and Innovation Projects exhibition for senior secondary school students, organized by the National Senior Secondary Education Commission. The event focuses on leveraging science and technology to address national and global challenges with key emphasis on food security.
Projects include 7 embedded first-class integrated technology.
One of the standout participants, Tolulokbe Adesoji, a student from Lagos State Model Senior College, showcases her innovative project titled Sustainable Integrated Farm System. Her project is designed to help farmers efficiently monitor water levels, improve agricultural productivity and sustainability. Addressing attendees, Dr. Suwaiba Ahmed, the Minister of State for Education, emphasizes the importance of using technological innovations to tackle food security issues. She highlighted that empowering youth with such skills is crucial for Nigeria's journey towards sustainable development.
If we are able to translate the knowledge we gain, the digital transformation we have in the country, definitely most of the challenges we are facing, which include the food security, could be actually tackled adequately.
One of the mandates of NSEC is to promote science, technology, engineering, arts and design, mathematics, STEM, technical, vocational education and training, as well as entrepreneurial skills at senior secondary education level in Nigeria.
The exhibition underscores the vital role young people play in shaping the country's future. It reaffirms Nigeria's dedication to advancing science and technology education. This year's event has set a benchmark for fostering creativity among students, demonstrating how education can drive solutions to critical issues like food security. Cybersecurity remains one of the cornerstones of global technological advancement. With the rising complexity of cyber threats globally, there is the need for a proactive and strategic approach. Director General, National Mathematical Center, Abuja, Professor Promise Mebine stated this during a foundation course on the impact of cybersecurity and its application to development aimed at building capacity and enhancing the skills of experts at mitigating the challenges in Nigeria.
What is holding us back is the funding. You have the funding, you have funding. Whatever you've written down in terms of recommendations, we are ready to do it.
Make sure you do your lots very well in this business of building Nigeria.
The 2 weeks foundation postgraduate course in cybersecurity and national development organized by Computer Science Program of National Mathematical Center Abuja brought together people from the education sector and industry practitioners. And that concludes Nationwide. Thank you very much for your company. I'm Ruth Aguele. Bye.